Hey everyone, welcome to another Scraplift Crafternoon. This time we're doing Kristen, scrapping on the fly, and I'm going to say I love this layout. Um, I don't know anyone that has taken, if any of you have taken the Shamel classes online, but she does a class called Half and Half. And it's one of the very first classes I ever took from Shamel, and it's an online class, and it really changed the way I looked at scrapbooking. I really, really loved it. And this layout screams Chamel's Half and Half to me. So, number one, I really recommend you go find Shamel.com and sign up for one of her classes. They're really reasonable, they're online, all the videos are there, and you will get a lot of information and just kind of think about how to do scrapbooking differently. But also, because I was inspired by it reminded me of Shamel, I'm going to be using Shamel's Live in the Dream or Live the Dream paper. I've got a few papers here picked out, and we are going to scrap lift this. I am doing a photo of Tiana's Bayou Adventure when we went on our girls' trip, and that's what I'm scrapbooking. So, anyway, thanks, and I'll put you on fast forward, and you'll see it come together. Hey, we're on fast forward. So this is a photo from Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which was super fun. And I just thought the colors of this collection worked really well. Plus, like I said, because I wanted to reference Chamel, I wanted to use a Chamel collection. So I'm using a paper that has this blue floral. I love it so much. And then I'm using a paper that has the green wood grain. Now, I debated about attempting to kind of put those pieces together and not use one of them whole, but I have a lot of paper and I'm trying to remember and remind myself to use the paper. So I cut both of them down to 5.5 by 5.5, 5.5 wide. I just cut the green one by 5.5 wide. That one is 11 inches. And I am putting this down. It's 11 by 11. So you have a 1/2 inch border on that white paper, which is like what she had. And then I'm putting this green paper down. And we are going to then, after we do that, put the kind of yellow, it's almost an orange, a yellow orange, a ribbon down the middle to mimic the peach strip she had in the middle of hers. So I know she used the black, which is super graphic, and I loved it, but I just thought the green would work better for my situation. And now what I wanted to do is I used a lot of papers from the 6x8 pad, the Chamel 6x8 pad from this collection, and I wanted to recreate all of the mats she had behind her photo. So she had a lot of mats behind her photo that are not all the same length, the same width. They are kind of wonky mats all around the photo that kind of create the center. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm just making them, I'm going with my gut. I'm just trying to make it look good. This one, and I apologize because I see the glare on the camera, but it is super shiny. It has got the foil on it. The Chamel 6x8 pad has a ton of foil. Really recommend getting that. Because we're on a ride, I wanted to use this paper that had the Ferris wheel on it. That's the ride paper. Thought that would be fun. So I'm just sticking these down and I'm just one by one kind of building the layers. Now, if you've ever watched a Chamel live, that's kind of what she does. So I kind of felt like I was channeling my inner Chamel here, which was nice. Then the other thing I pulled out was 2 of the cut apart pages. So there's this cut apart page that has tags. You'll notice on her layout that we're scrap lifting, there's a lot of little tag pieces. So I'm doing that. And this is another thing that I do love about these collections is they do have these full page of cut aparts. And I know sometimes we get them in like the journaling bits and those kinds of things, but I don't know if you're like me, you lose them, right? When they're not in a full sheet. And this way I can cut the ones I want. They had a tag on here that said ride the roller coaster life or living the roller coaster life, ride the roller coaster life. And that's what's going to end up being kind of my title. And I just tried to decide where to put it, and I just decided to put it on the left over there. Now she doesn't really have a title on hers, so she has the sticker on the right hand side. So that's I said left, right hand side. Ride the roller coaster life is going to be my title, and then on the bottom I'm going to put smile, which is another cut apart. But basically, I did the majority of this page, and you're going to see I don't end up adding a lot else to it. But the majority of this page I do with just paper. And I know we've talked about this a few times. You don't have to get everything. Now, I got everything, so don't get me wrong, but you don't have to get everything. If you are looking for a good way to use a collection, get a collection that has the tags, get a collection that has things you can cut apart, and then you don't need to buy all of the stickers and everything else. I'm using the ephemera pack that had both, I think, chipboard. No, this is just the ephemera pack. And then I pulled out the chipboard pack too. I'm going to use some of that. But basically, I pulled out some florals, a rainbow, a sunshine, just to add to it. And that's it. I'm not going to do anything else. I have the sticker sheet next to me. I decided I don't want to add anything because it's already with the floral paper and all of the mats. It's pretty busy. And you'll notice on hers, she also doesn't have a whole lot of extra. So sometimes you don't need a lot of other things on your layout to make it come together and look good. So the one thing I did forget to do is actually attach all of these things that I've been sticking down. So I'm going to do that real quick. And also, if you'll notice, I never stuck the overall page down to the background. So that's fun. But I'm going to do that in a second too. And at this point, I am sticking everything down. And I realize in order to stick down that tag, I'm going to need to put this down. And I put it down and it's just a little bit too far over. And I have to move it a little bit. And I end up covering up more of that pink paper than I wanted, but it works out. I am going to pop up the rainbow, and I think I pop up something else in a little bit. Oh, I think I pop up one of the florals, the middle floral. So just to have a little bit of more dimension on this page, and that helps as well. I'm doing that, and at this point, I really do have most of the page together. So I don't need to add anything else. And I think we've talked about this a few times in my layouts, but don't feel like you need to add anything else. If you're looking at it and you think, oh, this is what I like. Though in the collection kit, there are things that are washy. So you should, or you can peel off the back like I did with that camera. Or if you want them to be more opaque, you can just, because the sticker is going to stay. And if you want them to be more opaque, just adhesive on the back of that white. And that's what I did with both the word strip at the bottom of the picture and that smile at the top. That just keeps it from blending into the background too much. Sometimes when you use washi tape, it just blends in. So I believe this is the basic page that I brought together. I am loving it. And now I have to decide how to add some sprinkles. So I have this collection of sprinkles, and apologize, you're going to see my text just a little bit there, but I think the screen's whited out, so it's not a big deal. But you're going to see that I have this collection of Disney or Mickey head plus other ephemera. So that's what I end up doing is I put those on there. I don't even remember where I got this. It was like an extra in some pack I brought, or else I would try to link it. But it's just some wooden Mickey heads, some little acrylic Mickey heads, and then florals and other sequences. So I add those as kind of the final touch. I'll add my journaling, and that will be my layout. I hope you've enjoyed this Scraplift afternoon. And I have enjoyed so much scraplifting this layout. It's been so much fun. Kristen did a great job, and I love it a lot. And hopefully you will either find a half and half class or do a half and half page. And I'll see you next week when we do another scrap lift. Thanks, everyone.